I'm gonna have to adjust this audio because it's currently coming from over here, so I'm gonna sound super weird. I'm sorry. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lucy Moon, and today we're talking about my house move. We're not even actually talking about my move. We're talking about dealing with pauses in life, which isn't a term that's like used. I have made this up. This is gonna fall off for the entirety of this video, I'm sorry. So today I'm just gonna talk about like, I don't know, how my month's been. You may have noticed I took a month off YouTube. That was not intentional, I'm sorry. So I moved house, as you know, and then I just kind of had a lot of adjusting to do. And I kind of wanted to talk about like that whole emotional period between like January and now. And like kind of the like funny stuff that came out of it. Because obviously like things are good now, I feel better. But at the time it was a little bit challenging. But it's all been about like overcoming the challenges of 2019. It's not about just like dealing with them. It's about like over the hill. I feel like I'm really far away. Is that better? So today I am drinking a naked smoothie. I've teamed up with Naked today to talk about my naked moments, which is basically when you're feeling most naked, most vulnerable, and kind of overcoming those small challenges in life and turning the negatives into positives. And that fits so perfectly with what I wanted to talk about today. Let me have some more of this. It is just so good. Life is always at 100%, but sometimes you just aren't. Sometimes you need a bit of help letting out the go-getter inside that will help you make the most of the moment. And that struggle has, trust me, been part of this 6 months. And I've always loved naked smoothies, but I also love the idea of being your naked, honest self and being able to share things and how you overcame them. So my jam. And ultimately things have improved. Like I have settled, I have gotten over the hurdles that come with moving house, and I'm feeling top. Anyway, after I've had this sip, let me get on and tell you more about what's been going on. I'm also doing my makeup. Oh, what is this? This is so good. So this is the Naked Red Machine with sour cherry and blood orange, and honestly, this is so nice. It's like apple, raspberry, strawberry. They actually haven't asked me to say this. It's just actually really good. I'm gonna say it right now. I have forgotten to wet my sponge. I would always recommend wetting your sponge before you put on your foundation. But here we are. So I sat down with my housemates on December 28th of 2018 and told them that I was gonna move house. So just to put in context, this has been a long process. The first bit that wasn't so great was finding the flat itself. Didn't quite go to plan. I found a flat before many a time, and nothing has ever been as challenging. Apparently, 2 beds just don't exist in London anymore for a normal fee. And that's fine, you know? I'm not mad. So Aviva and I hunted and hunted and hunted for the right flat. And eventually, we actually won out. We did so well. I remember there were points where we just look at each other and be like, are we genuinely gonna find something, or is this just like another road that is going to take us nowhere? Should we just cut our losses and not live together? But we were like, no, let's persist. And I am so glad we did, because maybe sometime in like March, late March time, we found this beautiful flat. We actually discovered it through some friends of Aviva's, through Aviva's current or then current housemate's friend. So that's ridiculous. So this had been a 3 to 4 month hunt at this point. And I remember we walked into this flat and we looked around, and within about 10 seconds both of us went like, this is it. And it just made me so happy that we actually persisted in all of that, because like there were so many times where we could have given up and been like, oh, whatever. But I think making ourselves not necessarily vulnerable, I think it was just leaving ourselves open to being vulnerable in this really scary market actually did us really well. Being patient and being, you know, open to lots of awful mailing letters and like round robin emails about new properties, despite being challenging, actually ended up working in our favour. Basically, as soon as we left, we walked down the road, sat in a pub, and just went, we need this flat. So we tried to wait, you know, an hour or two after we saw it, and then we messaged the old tenant. We were like, hi, we would love this place, it's incredible. And somehow we got it. I don't want to say we were against the other prospective tenants, but we kind of were competing with them for the flat. And that was incredibly stressful because we'd found the one, you know? So yeah, I think I just reached a point where I've been like, okay, I've made peace with this. If it happens, it happens. If we don't get the flat, we don't get the flat. And then we got a call and we were like, oh my God. And that was the first step in kind of bringing to a halt that feeling I've been having, which was just like, I felt like my whole life was on pause while we were house hunting. I felt like I'd already enjoyed what I could enjoy from that particular life situation and I needed to move forward, but I couldn't move forward until like life move forward with me. So then we had another mild challenge in the form of one of us having to move in a month early. And initially it was going to be Aviva because it was Aviva's room. And then something came up and she couldn't move in. So I was like, I'll move in, that'll work for me. I can leave my contract at the other place whenever I want. It's all good. So I moved in to Aviva's room, which is the one you've seen in a couple of videos. And that was a really weird period because I couldn't unpack exactly. You know, it wasn't my space to unpack into, but this room still had the other old tenants in it. So I kind of just lived my life, but that put a real like hold on being able to film anything because I just felt like this isn't my space. This isn't my space. It isn't quite yet my house. We still have like all sorts of things that were left over from the old tenants, like the lighters on the fridge, which you will have seen in my last video. I thought that by moving a month early, I'd come out of being stuck in limbo, but it actually just kind of continued. I had to just kind of make do, you know, and I was doing a lot of other like parts of my job, but I just wasn't really able to make videos or shoot content, and that was hard. However, as soon as I moved into this room, I was like, right, let's sort this out. And this room is like the best place ever. Like I absolutely love it so much. It feels like it just makes sense. I don't know, it just feels like my bedroom. This room was like my little project. God, this looks really funny. I'm gonna make my hand all glowy to get rid of the last bit of this product. A little goes such a long way. I've had such a good time decorating this room. It's been like a little project for myself, but it didn't all go that smoothly. So the bed was kind of fine. The chest of drawers I brought with me, I would say the problem was the wardrobe. I don't know, I went looking for wardrobes. I didn't find any that I really, really loved elsewhere. So I went on a marketplace website and I saw that someone was selling their wardrobes for 100 quid. And I was like, yes, get me in. And they were 10 minutes down the road from me, which was incredible. So I organised to go see the wardrobes. I went to see them. The lady who had them was lovely. She said, the only day you can pick them up is Saturday because I've got a run on Sunday. I'm doing a half marathon. And then on Monday I move. And I was like, no worries, this might be a problem, but it'll be fine. So the issue here was that I was at a wedding on the Saturday. So I was like, Jack, who's my boyfriend, would you mind renting a van and just taking one of your pals with you, picking up these wardrobes, driving 10 minutes down the road and putting them in my new flat? Would that be fine? He was like, of course, absolutely. I assumed, you know, hours work, it'll all be okay. I'm at the wedding, I've almost completely forgotten that these wardrobes are getting picked up. And then I get a text saying, you are in so much trouble. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So it turns out those wardrobes are actually super, super heavy. Who knew IKEA could make such heavy stuff? And they didn't fit in the lift at the flat that they were in. So my boyfriend and his friend had to carry them down 4 flights of stairs. I am a dreadful human being. And not only that, but when they got to my house, it turns out that they didn't fit through my door. Jack had to take them apart and rebuild them in my bedroom. I am the worst girlfriend. I felt so, so bad. I was groveling for like a week. But hey, you know, not my finest moment, but we can make a funny anecdote out of it now. It's all in the past. About 3 weeks later, I've nearly been forgiven. So yeah, it hasn't all been sunshine and rainbows, but it's going all right, you know? Do you ever realise just how oily your lids are when you go to apply some shadow and it just sticks? Yeah, it's just like every time you think like, oh, okay, I think I've got this now, this life thing, I think I'm making progress, suddenly it just hits you in the stomach, something else goes wrong, and you're like, I'm not out of the woods. Sorry, I find it really hard to talk and do my eyeshadow because I go, that face. This is the first time in about 6 months that I've genuinely felt like, oh, okay, I'm getting settled, which is wild when you think about it. So how have I been coping, you may ask? Let me give you some handy hints and tips for when your life is in turmoil. I think I started off by dealing with it quite badly because I really like change, but I find change can be like quite hard to deal with. And this wasn't even change. This was like, oh, I'm stuck here waiting for the change that I want. A lot of it was just biding my time and trying to make the best out of things. Really, you've just got to try and see the silver linings. I had this vision in my head like, oh, come February, come March, I'll be in my own place. And it just didn't happen. And I think we grow with acceptance. Like, when something isn't the way you want it to be, you can either change it or you can accept it. And I I think I just had to make peace with the fact that this was how it was going to be for a while. I think I probably made peace with that in about March. So it did take me a bit of time. I just realised, you know what, like wishing it away won't change it. I'm doing everything I can to change the situation, so it will change eventually. And that kind of knowledge gave me a lot of peace of mind. This is an incredible mascara, by the way. This is the It Cosmetics mascara. It's called like superhero mascara. I think also you have to think to the future and how good things are gonna be. Like knowing like, oh, once I'm in this house, I'm gonna be happier, I'm gonna be fulfilled. Knowing all of those things are definitely going to happen through the move, or almost definitely, gives you something to look forward to, so you can like placate that feeling of stagnation. The kind people at Charlotte Tilbury sent over some lipsticks. Oh, that's cute. That might be the one. I feel like a berry colour is perfect because it matches the smoothie I'm drinking. So bright, so vivid, if you get that. I can't believe that makes you an old school YouTuber now, but it kind of does. Old school user of YouTube. What am I talking about? I think I'm wearing the reddest lip. Genuinely though, matches my smoothie perfectly, so to be honest. There we go. She has her makeup on and is ready for the exercise class that she is doing in about an hour. Ultimately, there's a bunch of positives that came out of the whole experience of the past 6 months, which is that I've just learned to deal with things when they kind of don't go as planned a bit better, and I just feel a bit more like, okay, cool, I've got this. This could happen again and I think I'd be okay, but please, can it not happen quite so soon? I feel weirdly like vulnerable talking about all this stuff. It's quite nice in a way. I feel like I got a lot off my chest, but it has felt quite like, am I allowed to say that the past 6 months have just felt really weird? I don't know. To be honest, I feel like this is my naked self, this is the truth, and I'm glad to be able to share that with you because I love you and I care for you, and I'm glad you stuck with me through my absence, basically. Thank you to Naked for working with me on this video. In the comments, please share your naked moments if you fancy. Also in the description box, there are some details about a competition you can enter to win a supply of Naked. So if you're interested in that, please check the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am going to be back. I'm going to be hopefully making more videos, hopefully better videos. My top is falling down. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I love you lots. Love you. Bye-bye.